As soon as I got the message, I clicked delete.
Oh, well, yeah.
Figured it was spam.
That's what I usually do, but I had just woken up, so I wasn't really ready for it.
Hey, timing is everything.
That's right.
Well, it was a very high.
Andy, go to that link and see if it's showing up.
YouTube.com/what?
@ Art Grossman. I think it's no space, just Art Grossman. 6360.
Is that 6360 of any significance?
No, that's just the link they gave me.
So you think I did it right? Oops.
If that doesn't work, just open up the YouTube app and search North Reading Community Coffeehouse, and it'll come right up.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Back in Washington, when I went to school, I don't think there was too much. Went down to interview for 3 parts. So that was my son.
This was in Washington.
Turn them on and turn them off.
You stayed down there for one?
Moved right back into the house and rented it. It was so great. It was like hey, let's go to instead of paying to go. That was a great year.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not on Art Grossman, it's on North Reading. North Reading.
Come to say hi to you.
Studio
Hi. Thank you for coming.
under I've always been fascinated by, not by him, but by Pet Feet and all those people who try to do
You need an A.
Can I just put the outside in there?
No, just do North Reading Community Coffeehouse, but spell it right.
Oh, I got to spell it correctly?
Yeah, you got to spell it correctly.
Andy's got better eyes than I do.
Like maybe 2 words and all that.
No, I think it.
North Reading's not going to work.
Andy, what? Do it. Here, do it.
Okay, all right, let's do it.
Let's get rolling.
the director is Billy Wilder. And all time great director. And what had nothing wasn't colorized. But all the make you feel like you were there.
Welcome everybody to the North Reading Community Coffeehouse first Performing Artist Series event of the year. For those of you who don't know, we do 11 showcase events a year, every month except December. And that's where we have 4 or 5 performers, each getting about a half-hour set. And but a few times a year, and this is the first one, we have high class, once in a lifetime kinds of performers that show up, and we pay them to do this. And tonight's one of those nights. Does anybody here not know Don? Because I don't want to read a big introduction if everybody knows him already. Anybody know?
These two do not.
Well, he'll tell you about himself then. Anyway, before we get started, I want to make sure I acknowledge the ladies in the back. Well, Angela Mosseri's over here. She's taking money, but we'll eventually move back there. We have Karen and Claudette, and they're going to make, you need to, if anybody saw my write-up, today really is National Carrot Cake Day. It really is. It really is. I'm not kidding. It is. And in honor of that, I bought these delicious carrot cakes, and they're back there. And I don't know if anybody's had any yet, but
I did, and they were great.
yeah, there you go. There you go. There you go. Well, have another piece. Have another piece. Anyway, and anything you buy back there, any monies that are raised, donations, refreshments, all goes to the Friends of the Flint Memorial Library. We're all on the board of it, and that money goes to support all the programs that. Oh, gotta go, head back over that way. All the programs that the library offers to its constituents, and so it all goes to a good cause. We're live streaming this. Hopefully it'll all work on the North Reading Community Coffeehouse Facebook and YouTube pages. It's also being recorded if the camera works on for NORCAM, the local cable channel. Restrooms are over there, which is very important. Our next showcase is in 2 weeks on the 17th. We've got Woody Carpinella. We had the Lakeside Boys, but I found out today that Phil Levitt is still under the weather, and Gene's going in for some eye surgery, so they're not going to make it. But we'll either find somebody else or we'll just play a little longer. I'm actually going to do a set. I don't usually do one, but I'm going to do a set that time. Aaron Tornberg and a couple of guys I met up in Newburyport, Connor Hennessy and Paul Simeon, are going to be here for the first time. I also, in case anybody who's watching, if you are so inclined and you want to fill or stuff Don's coffers, which I know he would appreciate, you can do so at either PayPal or Venmo at the @ Don White Folk. That's Folk, F-O-L-K. So, and I think that's all I need to say now. So since everybody knows Don, I'll just say Don White.
Thank you for coming on, everybody. It's nice to see you. I like playing close to home. It's good.
Yeah.
You know, Gary's here, and he played in bars all his life, right? Gary, when did you ever get on stage and have the room just stare at you quietly? In your whole life in a band? Never once, right? It's kind of, when it happens to you now, it's kind of creepy. Like you're like, wow. Just if you talk among yourselves, I'll be able to play better. Thank you, and so let me just play this just to get us started here. I've got $300 bills that are all brand new. I've got $300. Are we good? Got $300 bills that are all brand new. They are begging me to think of something cool to do. How about I'll take you downtown, spend them all on you. I don't wanna stay home tonight. We have worked so hard for so many years. Built a home, a life, a family, and 2 careers. Saved our money for the future, now the future is here. I don't wanna stay home tonight. I can't stay home again tonight. I can't stay home again tonight. I can't stay home, can't stay home. I can't. I need you and me. How it used to be every week on Friday night. There is so much history that only we can see. Can't stay home again tonight. Me and Michael, Johnny, Richard, Ruthie, and Joan all had bouts of cancer last year, you know. If cancer was a man, I would punch him in the throat. I don't wanna stay home tonight. 'Cause time isn't sentimental, it doesn't seem to care about your plans or your hopes and dreams. It just keeps track of your minutes and wipes the slate clean. I don't wanna stay home tonight. I can't stay home again tonight. I can't stay home again tonight. I can't stay home, can't stay home. I can't. I need you and me. How it used to be every week on Friday night. There is so much history that only we can see. Can't stay home again tonight. Well, I know we can't party like we did before. Can't stay out till 4 in the morning no more. But the house is paid off and the kids are all grown. What the hell have we been working for? Let's take a nap. Take our inhalers. Take a multivitamin. And then go out to hear some music with all of our friends who didn't die from the way we used to party back then. I wanna stay home today, 'cause time isn't sentimental, it doesn't seem to care about your plans or your hopes and dreams. It just keeps track of your minutes and wipes the slate clean. I don't wanna stay home today. I can't stay home again tonight. I can't stay home again tonight. I can't stay home. Can't stay home. I need you and me. How it used to be every week on Friday night. There is so much history that only we can see. Can't stay home. Can't stay home. I can't stay home again tonight. Yeah. Thank you. So I don't know why North Reading is bringing out so many Lynn people, but this place is like, it's got a lot of Lynn people in it. Let's dig this chestnut up. I wrote this song in the 70s, if you can believe that. And it's funny because I can still sing it with conviction. I was born in the city of Lynn, home of the first turbine engine. And as if that wasn't enough, it's also the home of marshmallow fluff. You can travel the whole country, you'll never find a bigger fluff factory. I'm from Lynn, what can I say? People from Lynn act this way. Don't talk slick like I'm from the hint. I'm the son of a 30-year GE man. Don't be staring at me that way. I am from Lynn. What can I say? I used to hang around at Barry Park. That's illegal after it gets dark. I would stand on the bleachers where things got smoked and beer got chugged, the love bottles got broke. Later in the evening when the police come, 27 juveniles are on the run. Juveniles are running everywhere they see, jumping over fences, climbing in trees. Don White is too loaded to get away. His name is in the paper on the next day. His mother and his father just can't believe he would publicly humiliate the family. I said, Mom, I'm from Lynn, what can I say? People from Lynn act this way. Don't talk slick, that's what I said. I'm not from Swampskin or Marblehead. Don't be staring at me that way. I'm from Lynn, what can I say? On the corner of every street, somebody's cooking something greasy to eat. Deep fat is frying everywhere you look. The town is bound for the record books. A million sub shops open all night long. A socio-intestinal phenomenon. It's still the best line I ever wrote. I'm from Lynn, what can I say? People from Lynn eat this way. There's no room in my stomach for French cuisine. Give me a bag of cheese curls and a submarine. Julia Child, get out of my face. I'm from Lynn, what can I say? That's how you know when a song's been around too long, when it actually has dead people in it. I'm from Lynn, what can I say? People from Lynn act this way. I don't talk slick, that's what I said. They won't even let me into Marblehead. They're afraid I'll steal something. I might. Don't be staring at me that way. I'm from Lynn, what can I say? I really should have been the end of the show right there, I think. All right, I'm going to tell you a story, new story. Let me tell you about my career. My career goes forward despite me. I have no plan, no nothing. I go from, I just get interested in things, and then all of a sudden it turns out you can make money from it. And storytelling is one of those things. Like, I didn't know there was such a thing as a storyteller. or a storytelling festival, like to me, prior to 2015, storytellers just played for children, right? They had a headshot, that looked like this, right? With a puppet in his hand. Available to play your library or elementary school, right? Well, then all of a sudden, through circumstances that I had no part in at all, I wound up in Tennessee, this place called the Jonesboro National Storytelling Festival. 20,000 people converge on this town in Tennessee, and they listen to people tell stories. Every tent, there's 5 tents, right, in this town. Each one of them holds 2,000, 1,800, like that, right? We're walking around, well, who's gonna sit in all these seats? I mean, like maybe they do one tent at a time. The next day, every tent, busting at the seams, people watching people tell stories. And so it just blew my world open. My world was just blown up, and all of a sudden, I'm playing all these places. I got 11 festivals out of this one thing that I did. So, something I didn't, like my show used to be songs with little stories in between them, but then it became stories with little songs in between them. And for some reason, I didn't do it because I thought there was money in it. I didn't know this world existed. I just had more fun talking than singing, right? So now I'm playing, and most of these places are in the South, right? So I'm in Alabama, and Tennessee, and Kentucky, and all these places, whatever. So I'm just telling you that, I don't know, if I was giving advice to somebody, I would say, pursue the thing you love and don't worry about it, maybe something will happen, right? So anyway, so now I think more about stories. So here's a new story that I'm working on, so I'm testing this out. So my heart, this thing right here, has always had a pedestrian beat. I like a boom, 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 like a marching band, steady, no frills, like Charlie Watts. Not a lot of fills, not a lot of filling in, not a lot of thrills. Just steady, boom, 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 boom. And then 6 months ago, it decided that it wanted to be a drummer in Dizzy Gillespie's band. So it was like ba ba wa da ba be doo ba bo doo wa ba wa wa, and I'm like, bebop, cool. I say to my wife, I go, listen, bebop, my heart's playing bebop, cool, right? She goes, not cool. Go to the doctor. So I go to the doctor. I grab the stethoscope. I put it on here. I go, bebop, cool, right? He's like, not cool. Go get an echocardiogram. All right, so I've been thinking a lot about being older because I am older. Like, I'm 67 years old. Don't tell me I'm not old. Okay, do you remember how old 67 was when you were 17? It's like I was as old as you could possibly be. I was too old to even bother with, right? So that's how old I am. So I've been thinking about being older. And one of my observations about being an older person is that a lot of things that you notice are things that are decreasing. Your vision decreases. Your stamina decreases. Your patience decreases. Your willingness to tolerate idiots really decreases. So there's a lot of decreasing going on when you get to a certain age. But some things increase. And some of them are obvious. You don't have to explain to them. Your weight increases. Your appetite increases. But there are some things that increase that I didn't see coming. And here's one of them. I didn't realize that one of the things that increases significantly as you reach a certain age is your vocabulary of medical terms. Echocardiogram. That's my new one, echocardiogram. Have you ever had one? Raise your hand up. Right? All right, so all you people don't bother to sign the mailing list. So those of you that haven't had one, let me take you step by step through this process. You go into this building, and the woman, she's a technician, she lays me sideways on the bed, I'm laying on my side, she puts this thing over my heart, and there's a monitor right here in front of me, like so close I could touch it, right in my face, there's a screen right here. And it has to be close because the thing that she's putting on my chest is going to project my heart onto this screen, and she has to see it because she's got one hand on my chest like this, and so she can't be way over there. It has to be right here. So it's right here, it's like in my face. It's closer than I would sit to my television, right, to my computer. So she puts this thing on my over my heart, and it looks through the bones and the skin, and then it live streams my beating heart right to this thing right in front of my face, right? So so echocardiogram is not like an EKG. It's not lines like this. It's like a sonogram, right? It's like what they would show you, like a baby in the womb, like that. Only it's a million times better. Like those things, you could never tell what it was. It just looked like a blur back in the day, right? Now it's like 3D perfect shot of your heart beating right there in front of your mug, right? And so as soon as I see it, I get so emotional. I get so emotional. I want to talk to it. I want to talk to it. I'm like, look at you. You're awesome. You've been beaten in there, and since before I was born, you're the employee of the month every month of my whole life. I can't believe you. And I'm just looking at it, boom, 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 and I'm having these great big swells of emotion. Like I want to give her a little hug, you know. Boom, 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 boom. She goes, Mr. Wright, we're going to show you the lower chamber. Boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. And this is the upper chamber. Boom, 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 boom. This is, Mr. White, this is the valve. I forget what they call it, the flappy thing there. What is it?
Big valve.
What?
Atrial, mitral.
Something that opens and closes like this, right? And we're going to show you this thing. Boom, 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 boom. And I'm going to get like these great big swells. I don't know what's going on with me. I'm like losing my mind, right? Having this, like, I'm so emotional, right? And then she goes, Mr. White, now I'm going to turn the sound on so you can hear the sound of your heart pushing blood through your body. And I'm thinking, I'm going to hear the sound of my existence, of the source of my life. And she puts the sound on, and you hear, now I'm telling you, I feel like crying. I don't know what the hell's happening to me. And she's looking at me like, oh boy, I don't know what's going on with this guy. And in my mind, like, the comedy, anyone that knows me knows this. Like, comedy and emotion are right beside each other in my head. Like, I could go back and forth, there's no space between them at all. I just jump from one to the other all the time, right? So now I'm having all these emotional things. I'm thinking about my life, this thing beating, keeping me alive and all that. And then I go right to comedy. I start thinking all of this stuff that I think is really funny, like bits. And first thing I start doing in the comedy zone, when I'm in my mind, is I start apologizing to it. I'm like, I'm so sorry about the fried clams. I'm so sorry about the fried clams and the not exercising. I knew it was bad for you, but I didn't know how cool you were until I saw you. I feel bad about it. And now I'm laughing. And the technician is looking at me like a minute ago he was crying, now he's laughing. She's got her hand on like a panic button over here. This could go bad. This could go horribly wrong here in this place. Then I'm talking about how much I love this thing and what a great employee he is and how he never missed a beat, never took a break, never took a day off, never took a cigarette break. Then I start saying, cigarettes, those are bad, don't take that break right there. And I'm thinking all this stuff that I think is funny, like that. And I can hear all of a sudden now my lungs and my kidneys complaining. Like, well, what about us? Like, we're working hard too, and I'm like, shut up, all of you. You think this guy was beaten before I was born? I was still in the womb. Lungs? What were you doing when I was in the womb? There's no air in there. Nobody was breathing. Sit down, shut up. This guy's the employee of the year every year for 67 years, and all you people would be nothing without him. Sit down. Boom, 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 boom. And then I start picturing him, like in my mind, like like a guy working in a machine shop on a dangerous machine that could cut his fingers off. And I'm talking to him. So if you're talking to somebody who's doing an important job, they hear you, but they can't look at you to acknowledge it, right? But so I can feel that my heart is listening to me. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, right? Like, but he can't look at me. I almost picture it like sticking his leg out and tripping somebody walking by, just so that I would know that he was paying attention. But he can't look away. It's an important job. But I got every beat, can't miss a beat, right? And so I'm thinking about that, I'm thinking about my heart like that, and I know that he's listening to me, I know that my heart is hearing me. And then just for like a couple of seconds, I hear like it changes from steady beat to like a Charlie Parker bebop riff, like it's going boom, 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 bop, be wah, ba, 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 bo, bo, and I go, whoa, and I see one of the valves wink at me, and then I hear my heart go, hey, I'm just fucking with you. And I'm laughing, and the woman is like thinking, oh man, I'm gonna have to call security. So again, just like very typical in my mind, emotion, comedy, and then deep emotion, right? So that's a very easy pattern in my mind. In the course of this night tonight, I'll probably do that quite a bit. Be funny, then be talking about my mom and all that stuff. It's normal for me. So I go from swells of emotion to apologizing to my heart. I go to like as deep as I can go. I start talking to it in my mind. I'm like, when my mother died, I thought you were broken. I thought you were broken. That's what I was saying to myself. I said, my heart is broken. I go, but you weren't broken. I was broken. My head was broken. My life was broken. My world was broken. Everything about me was broken except you. You just showed up every day and pushed blood to my ungrateful internal organs from every day so that I could live, so I could get past this pain, so I could sleep at night, one heartbeat at a time, so I could dream and get away from the pain of this loss, boom, boom, like that. And because you weren't broken, you allowed me to put time between this loss and my life. And it turned, and in time, one heartbeat at a time, I slept, I dreamed, I mourned, and I was able to put back together all the broken parts of my life because of you, because you came to work every day and you never missed a beat the whole time. And I'm just having these thoughts and I'm looking at this thing like this, and I'm like, you're so beautiful. I love you. And then this like tear runs down the side of my face, and the technician goes, Mr. White, are you okay? And I said, I'm just having a moment with my heart. And I'm sure she's gonna call somebody and have me move to another ward and give him a tranquilizer or something like that. But she didn't. It was so interesting. She said, it happens a lot. She said, I see this a lot. And then we had this moment, like 45 seconds, where I wasn't a patient and I wasn't like patient 81 and she wasn't, a technician. We were just like two human beings having a moment about life, about the miracle of life. It was just 45 seconds and then back to being a technician and a patient. She hands me some paperwork, Mr. White. I don't see any real damage here. Take this paperwork up to the front, but I'm not listening to her. I'm hearing this stuff, but I'm just looking at this thing, this amazing muscle that, like, what engine does Rolls Royce make that you never have to shut off for 70 years? There's nothing like it anywhere. I'm just looking at it. And she's saying, I don't see anything wrong with your heart, and it's just like a sound in the background. And then finally she says, Mr. White, take this paperwork, bring it up to the front. She had her hand on me when she was talking to me. She took her hand off my arm. And then she said, go easy on the fried food, Mr. White. And then I'm watching it and hearing her kind of in a dream behind me. Boom, 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 boom. And then she hits the button and the screen goes dark. So I have a lot of stories, and I relied on comedy. I would use it as a crutch really to end with big laughs and all that stuff. But going to these festivals has allowed me the freedom to use comedy in the middle and not have to end with a big laugh. I feel safer now to go in and out of comedy and to not have the whole thing be about being funny, which is a great privilege that it gave me. Went to California when I was young. Stood beside the highway to wave my thumb. I met a lot of maniacs, met a lot of bums. They were all really kind to me. Life is not like TV. People in Michigan say hello to people on the street that they don't even know. And drivers in Boston make a left-hand turn without turning their signal on. In 1993, if you were talking to yourself walking down the street, it was sad because it meant that you were crazy. Now it means that you're a businessman. It's not crazy, but still kind of sad. I went to California when I was young. I stood beside the highway, waved my thumb. I met a lot of maniacs, I met a lot of bums. They were all really kind to me. Life is not like TV. You know my boss is younger than my children are. I gotta tell you people, that is so bizarre. He's so adorable when he yells at me. It makes me want to pinch him on his cheek and say coochie coochie coo coochie. I went to California when I was young. I stood beside the highway, waved my thumb. I met a lot of maniacs, I met a lot of bums. They were all really kind to me. Life is not like TV. People in Michigan say hello to people on the street that they don't even know. And drivers in Boston make a left-hand turn without turning their signal on. They're not thinking about you at all. They just keep on rolling, keep on rolling, keep on rolling along. All right. Alright, so during COVID, I wrote a book. This is my second book. My first book is called Memoirs of a C Student. That's the name of my first book. Took 5 years to write that book. If I was a B student, I could have done it in a week, probably. My second book is called The Hitchhiking Years, and 4 other stories. So half of this book, 135 pages, is about the fact that my wife and I left Lynn, Massachusetts in 1974, fresh out of classical high school, and hitchhiked for 3 years. I know, wow. It's unbelievable, isn't it? Like, so here, let me make this statement that no one else on earth could make. I left Lynn, Massachusetts with my girlfriend that I'm still married to now in 1974, and we hitchhiked somewhere in the vicinity of 60,000 miles for 3 years. How about that? And when we left Lynn, people thought we were out of our minds. Aren't you afraid that you're going to meet dangerous and rude people out there in the world? Thinking, no. Not any more dangerous or rude than these people around here. And it's the truth. Like, we weren't naive. We knew. We met some jerks out there, but most of them we met really kind people. People were kind to us. We couldn't move 1 inch without some stranger being kind to us, and we got hopelessly addicted on the kindness of strangers. And so the world right now will tell you that there's no kindness out there, but that is not the case. We were wired opposite of that. And my dad was a gambler, and he would always say, what is the math on this? Don't listen to the noise. What's the math? And the math on kindness is this way. If something horrible happens in the western part of the state, they send a camera crew from Boston to drive to the western part of the state to film it. What I would say to you is, how many houses did they pass where nobody did anything awful? 5 million, 6 million, that's the math of it. 6 million to 1. It's not all saints in those houses, but there's certainly people who don't want to hurt you for no reason. And that's the math of it. But there's money in keeping you nervous and afraid. So they do that. Anyway, here's a little thing about picking fruit in Washington State. Years ago, being a conscientious pet owner, I had my male dog neutered. On the ride home, I couldn't bring myself to look at him. No dissertations on the long-term benefits of neutering were going to alter his understanding of and his feelings about what had just happened. I knew what he was thinking. Look me in the eye, you bastard, you Claudius, you Iago, a plague upon your house, you most treacherous villain. When you were drunk and lying on the floor and nobody in the family was talking to you, who showed you unconditional love? And this is how you repay my loyalty. I keep going down to lick my junk, and guess what? No jump! Where's my junk? Today, an unleashed, unneutered dog on the street would show up on your Facebook feed under the title, "Photo of unleashed dog with testicles goes viral." In the 70s, they were everywhere. All the fruit tramps, which is what we pickers were affectionately called, they all had dogs, and Liza was the only female, and she chose this extraordinarily inopportune time to go into her first heat. The word spread quickly amongst the dogs in the orchard that Elijah was in the market for a suitor. I looked down from the top of a ladder and saw a motley, fully testicled assemblage of wannabe canine fathers encircling our dog, who was leashed to the base of a pear tree. Since none of these unprincipled indigents bothered to show me the courtesy of asking my permission for her hand, I considered them all unworthy of even the slightest consideration. Everything you will ever need to know about the boundless, unrestrainable power of libido can be seen in the crazed eyes of a pack of unneutered male dogs who have picked up the scent of an ovulating female. There is just no reasoning with them. No amount of pleading or explaining about the future ramifications of their actions. No questions about who is going to support all these puppies. No barricades, no yelling of obscenities, and no number of pears bounced off their noggins will divert their laser-focused attention from the job at hand. That evening, our shack was besieged by a horde of incurably infatuated boy dogs. They encircled our humble dwelling and subjected us to a chorus of lovesick whining and howling and the occasional reciting of a sonnet. I may have dreamed that last part. In the morning, we implemented the plan we had devised while under siege. We took a pair of my underwear, briefs, not boxers, pulled them over Elijah's two rear legs, and slid her tail through the little pee hole that no one ever uses. That maneuver kept the underwear from falling down. It looked like a diaper, but it was actually an inspired piece of improvisational contraceptive ingenuity. The next day, our corner of the orchard was transformed into a surrealist dreamscape that featured all manner of male dog wooing techniques and canine pugilism. Several of Elijah's potential beaux engaged in what seemed to me to be a fantastical display of bipedal animated cartoon fisticuffs that day. Periodically, a victorious alpha male would approach the object of his desire to collect his hard-won reward, only to be denied the ultimate satisfaction by Elijah's low-budget, homemade chastity belt. We were pleased. Elijah was not. I don't believe that she ever completely forgave us. All right, let me play one more song. We'll take a break. If anyone's here after the break, I'll play some more. I want you to think about eating more sweet things that are good for you and supporting the library. I have some books and CDs for sale over here. Books are $25 each, but 2 for $40. CDs, okay. Nobody under the age of 100 buys CDs anymore. So if you still have some of you Lynn people, you're still driving a car that has a CD player in it. I don't know, $10, 3 for $20. Tell me you like my shirt, I'll give you a CD, whatever. They must go. I'm gonna play this song for my friend Richard Fox. I don't think anybody here knows Richard Fox, but Richard Fox was one of the most beautiful people I ever knew in my life. And he just passed away recently, and I love that guy so much. He was so sick, he was so sick. But he was so kind to other people that was sick. He would just listen to them, and even when he was 10 times sicker than them, he gave them a place where somebody could say to him, could say, I know how you feel. And I just loved him. He was really one of my dearest friends. And I would have loved him anyway, but then he told me that he saw the Mothers of Invention in 1967. That was it for me, man. I was like, okay, you're like a superhero to me. But I was talking, somebody mentioned it earlier. I think when you love somebody and they're gone, it's nice to say their name. Like Richard Fox, poet from Worcester, Mass. Look him up. Just a saint of a man. I just want to have my breath push his name into the world, Richard Fox. So he called me just before he passed. And when I saw his name on my phone, I knew how sick he was. I thought it might have been his wife calling me to say he was gone. But it wasn't. It was him. He's still around causing trouble. And I go, Richard, what's going on? He goes, I want you to play at my funeral. I go, where are you calling me from? Cell phones are kind of a mystery. Maybe they work from the other side. I don't know. But he asked me to play this song, and I brought Chris Thompson, a wonderful singer, with me, and we sang at the funeral. And so this is for Richard Fox. And then we'll take a little break after this and fill up with sugar. All his children knew that he was dying. When he asked them all to gather at his side, spoke to them about the joyousness of a living from the perspective of someone about to die. My love for you is what I leave behind me. I see my love in everything you are. When I am gone and you want to find me, believe me, you won't need to look too far. I will be your sense of humor. I'll be your integrity. Each time you find the strength to persevere, right inside that strength is where I'll be. When you touch a person's heart with kindness, that heart opens up here and where you will stay. As your heart grows, I know that you will find it is the way you can live beyond your day. So take some time and contemplate the night sky, so vast beyond all you can comprehend. The magnitude of what is all around you can make your life seem small and insignificant. And picture your heart has grown to its potential, and being wider than all you can ever dream, and deeper than the unfathomable heaven. That's the way that my heart feels today to me. and I will be your sense of humor. I'll be your integrity. Each time you find the strength to persevere, right inside that strength is where I'll be. There's really nothing more that I can say now. If you don't mind, I would like to be alone. I want to spend a short time now in prayer to thank God for all the love that I have known, and for all these hearts where my love has found a home. I will be your sense of humor. I'll be your integrity. Each time you find the strength to persevere, right inside that strength is where I'll be. That's where you can always go to be with me. Thank you. I thought you said this guy was funny. What the hell was that? All right, let's take a break, fill up on sugar, and we'll be back in a little while.
All right.